Okay, next up we have Nick Provenzano. The title of his presentation voices his 6-word bio: teacher, leader, learner, and nerd. I love it. Nerds are cool. That's a change in our culture, which I love. Please welcome Nick to this conversation.
She got my name right. Oh, that was amazing. You did. You nailed it. That's so exciting for me. Oh, it's like a flashback to like every grade ever growing up, and she nailed it. That's super exciting. Hi, I'm Nick Provenzano. Welcome for everyone that is here and online. I'm a high school English teacher, and in college I never thought I would be here. This was not something I took a class for. There was no technology classes to prepare for social media. It didn't exist. And this is the sentence that always bothers me most when I think about education. When parents say it, when teachers say it, well, when I was a kid. Well, that was me when I was a kid. I am the guy in the lower corner in the really, really nice haircut and striped shirt. 1985 kindergarten. And when we talk about when I was a kid, what was I worried about? Right? What was going through my head? Well, I was worried about not dying of dysentery. Now, only a few people get that joke. You tell that to kids, they go, wow, that was a long time ago. How old are you? No, the Oregon Trail is a very different world. Those were our concerns, right? Those were our concerns growing up. And now, I think about my son. Here he is. He is 5 years old. So there we are, 5 years old each. And there he is on a Kano kit, playing Scratch, focused. He's coding. What? That is not the world that I grew up in. So as teachers, when we talk about when I was a kid is so irrelevant. It is not even important to bring into the conversation. Now, yes, certain things are timeless. Proper etiquette, dealing with other people. Absolutely. But talking about when I was a kid. Well, when I was a kid, I got super excited when my dad got us a Nintendo. Oh my goodness! I could play Top Gun on Nintendo. It was awesome. The world has changed, and we have to be okay with that. So I need to help my son navigate a world where almost everything is a touchscreen. I have fingerprints on my TV to prove that he thinks that. And he needs to navigate in a world where his whole life is going to be documented in some form or another. And I'm a part of that. As you scroll through my Instagram and see pictures of him being all crazy and silly. And then when he starts to take ownership of his own footprint, his own digital tattoos, we'll talk about in a second. Now, what's really important here is that it's enough about me. I wanted to let students share what social media has meant to them, how it's impacted their lives. And I'm going to show you some slides in a second here that some of them have graphic words.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I think the musical background's perfect.
I just wanted you to
I do the dance. Along with it. It was. But in all seriousness, some of the words that you're going to see are graphic. So if you have little kids watching at home and you don't want them to see these words, don't. But these are words students have encountered in social media. This is the real world of social media. And this project put together actually by a student of mine who took all of those photos. And I'll talk about it a little bit after we show the next set. This was like a very tough conversation to have. Do I show these? Do I not? But in essence, we can't run away from the reality of social media. When we bury our head, we can never address the problem. And so when I think about social media today, I think about those trolls. I think about those people that have decided that their time is well spent harassing people. And again, these aren't just other teenagers. These are grown adults. These are people that have decided to sit on a message board and torture other people. And these aren't just anonymous people. As mentioned, These are people that are celebrities. These are people that even consider themselves presidential in some way. That's the reality. These are the people that act this way. And some of the response from other celebrities who have been essentially browbeaten into quitting social media because no one seems to address it. We need to prepare our students for a different world. Running and hiding isn't going to do that. So we need to start promoting the positive of social media. We, as a group of educators and those of you in the media, we need to promote those good things. This is Emma. She's the one that did the photo shoot, essentially. And she struggled a lot with this, especially with all of the negative photos. And she had conversation with her parents and her photography teacher and with me, do I blur these words out? Where does censorship fall in all of this? And as an English teacher and a huge First Amendment advocate, I'm not a fan of censorship at all, and I love the great part of Twitter is you can do whatever you want to say, and then the bad part of Twitter is that you can say whatever you want to say. It's that double-edged sword, right, that we look at. And she had this experience where she had to decide. And she looked at those pictures. She said, Mr. P, I want to do them in black and white, and I want to work on shadow. I want these kids to look down at these words. And the happy ones, I want them outside in color, and the green, I want them to show. And she's like, there's so many amazing things out there. And as I had this conversation with this senior in high school, watching her essentially work through the social media mess that is out there, shows these are the words that need to get out there. And that's the conclusion she came to on her own. She's like, I can't alter these words. We can't hide from that reality. So if we can have 17-year-olds in high school go through this process, we need adults to go through this process. It's so very important that we recognize that. And people like Emma here, and you can send her a tweet, it would totally make her day and freak her out to get tweets from all over. And when I said I needed a picture of herself, she's like, what? No, I'm not involved in this. But you need to, as good digital citizenship, credit your photos, as I made sure I did here. It's a huge deal to let these kids experience what digital citizenship means. It can't be abstract. It needs to be real. And we had a real instance this week. I needed to almost redo my entire presentation. We had a lockdown on Monday or Tuesday. A kid had suggested that he had a gun in his backpack. School was in lockdown, police were called. Kid ended up not having anything in his backpack. During the lockdown, some kids thought it would be funny to start a rumor that someone got stabbed. Our local Fox affiliate ran that article, that someone was stabbed. And then, of course, wrote the retraction, oops, that was wrong, as parents started to freak out that someone who had been stabbed wasn't my kid. I had a very harsh digital citizenship conversation with my kids the next morning about how something that seems funny puts people's lives at risk. It was that real situation, that teachable moment that had kids go, oh, like crap, like this is not a joke, this is real. So every single kid that had retweeted that had shared it, thought it was so funny, had this realization. And we've heard it, it's not a footprint, right? It's a tattoo. As we talk about that permanence of it, and I was reading in Jen McGarre's book, Courageous Adventures, where she talked about tattoos, and this is what it really is, because footprints can wash away, over time will disappear. Tattoo is permanent, and removing them is painful, so I've been told. This is the real world that we live in, and these decisions that kids are making are forever. I have stopped high school kids in the hallway and said, I just saw what you sent out there, man. You want to go to college? No, that. And they look at me and they get totally embarrassed. I go, imagine what a college recruiter is going to look at when they Google you. We need to prepare them for this. They need to know what these responsibilities are and how we're going to do this. This is what social media should be. This is what it needs to be if we want it to be successful. We want our kids to be good digital citizens. And I throw it all to you. When was the last time any of you sent just a positive tweet?
We're in above average.
But think about it. The friend that maybe you haven't talked to outside of being at this conference, how many have just sent, you know, I'm going to send a little message? I challenge all of you to send just a nice message to someone on social media. Hashtag it, social smiles. If we aren't the ones willing to take the initiative to send those positive tweets, to create an atmosphere, a world in which social media is a power for good, a power to make people's lives better, then what? What are we doing? As educators, as people in the media, what are we doing? Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate it.